What's up? This recording you're about to see was a masterclass that we hosted with around 20 members, and the requisite to enter that mastermind was you had to make more than $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Some of the things people told me was like, this was the best call I've been in from you. One girl said this was beautiful, and I thought, hey, if these guys liked it, maybe I should just share it to the YouTube. Social media works kind of like a high school. Like there is a popularity contest going on. If you show that you're kind of the popular guy, then you'll get more responses. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to go over a quick presentation. Then I'm going to roast your content, and I'm going to tell you exactly whose content I'm going to roast because I have it right here with me. Graham, Joshua, Daniel, Andrew, Kevin, Matt, and David White. You guys ready?
Yeah.
There you go. Quick story about Tony and me. So this was the guy that originated Likes and Cash. And I've told this story many times, but it was this guy that had 900 followers and I had 70,000. So we're talking 900 versus 70,000. Like this is a crazy discrepancy. And this guy booked a call with me because he wanted some Twitter advice. We got on a call and I have 70K. He has 900 and we're making the same amount of money per month. And like the embarrassment that I've had on that fucking call, it gave me PTSD so hard that I turned it into my entire positioning, Likes and Cash. Like it was horrible. Like I'm looking at him like, dude, like such a fucking bum, right? The guy was making 30K a month with 900 followers. Crazy, just crazy. The biggest difference is that he talked about one problem and one solution and one path. Like the discipline that guy had with content was the craziest discipline I've seen anybody ever have with content ever. Like the guy just talked about how to like pay less taxes. And that is all he did. Just it was only how to pay less taxes. And I was talking about masculinity and self-improvement and somewhat kind of Twitter and just all over the place, right? It was the main difference was specificity and discipline, just staying like in one topic. So one thing you guys will find is at one point you may get bored of saying the same thing. And that's normal because you will get tired of your message before others get tired of it. Like for you, it's obvious. Oh, it's obvious that Likes and Cash. It's obvious that my ecom thing works. It's obvious that my lead gen pay-per call works. But for people, it's not, because they are doing other stuff. The way you're going to get a lot of inbound is if you stay disciplined about talking about one thing. So when I roast you today, it's going to be because of your lack of discipline. That's literally it. That's all I'm going to do today, because I'm going to show you that like the places where you're missing out, that you could really win if you really would have stayed disciplined. So maybe you guys feel right now like you don't have high quality followers. You feel like the people with money are hiding, and you do have them. You just can't see them. So let me give you a few examples. This was from last week in Tweets and Clients. First inbound lead came through, call scheduled, just by following 30 or 40 accounts. He doesn't even have 1,000. He's already booking inbound calls. When your content is good, you will find that these high quality people will start popping up. Tim, this was today actually. Closed a client for 15K in a call, paying up front. And then I'm asking Tim, okay, so where did he come from? He's like, have been following me for a while. As you say, not a profile pic, just a ghost. Like there are ghosts with a lot of money in your audience. You just don't see them yet. Content mechanism I'm going to show you today will not guarantee they show, but it will increase the likelihood that they do. This one too. LB, 5 meetings booked from inbound since switching my positioning cadence and strategy. Because when your content slaps, your lead gen slaps. And this is not just inbound, this is also outbound. Because if you send an outbound DM and your content's on point and you only talk about how to save money in taxes, then people will look at you like you're legit, right? Because dude, like an expert talks about their craft all day. And also inbound, because when you talk about the same thing, what happens is you create belief by repetition. There is an astounding amount of times I've said Likes and Cash a different way. And eventually people believed it. But it took me 2 years until people believed it. You create belief by repetition. This is why it's so important to stay disciplined. Because if you change what you're repeating, then you need to convince people of 2 things, and then 3 things, and then 4 things, and that dilutes your marketing message. The key to lead gen is good content. And the key to good content, it's discipline. It's specificity. It's talking about the same thing. Now let's roast all of you guys. You guys ready for roasting?
Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's go, bro.
Get
All
it.
right, there you go. Let's fucking roast some people. I don't believe in content creation so much as I believe in content filtration. Okay, so there are already a ton of engaging formats you guys could use. There is the Square. Now, what people do is they will take Justin Welch's or Dan Coe's Square, and they'll be like, oh, let me just change a few words on it, and they create something that's very similar in nature. This is how you come up with formats that are like, Twitter is like a free university, but people don't use it, right? Follow these 10 accounts if you want to use it, right? This is how you come up with all this like stupid bullshit. I don't believe in this. I believe in content filtration. So there is content that's already very engaging, right? Formats that are tested, and that's fine. But I believe that what you need to do to really, really get the most bang for buck and get people to believe in your message is to filter it. There has to be a filter. This blue thing represents a filter. And after you filter it, you create something that kind of has the same shade, but it's a different shape. Okay, so I'm going to explain this to you. This is Graham, right? So if we go to Graham's profile, you will find that he generated 2 million sales ups for high ticket offers with Twitter monetization, not growth, at the bluebird.io. Okay, so and here's where the roasting thing comes in. Graham, you did this with growth, not growth and monetization. So why are we posting engagement notifications?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Where are we talking about profile visits and follower growth? So for example, me and this is just in your best interest, bro. Like, by the way, and if I'm being too harsh on any of you guys,
Yeah,
you guys can just tell me. Yeah, but like, this is because I really want you guys to, get this shit right. So what happens in people's brains is Graham told me he was going to do this, right? However, I read his content. Maybe this is the first tweet somebody saw from you. You don't know. Maybe it was. And then they see you that you're going to do this, but you talk about this. So people look at your profile and they go, okay, so is it blue or is it red? And this is when you start confusing people. This confusion creates mental work, and mental work limits sales because people have to think about a lot in order to hire you. So what I would do if I were you, and this is going to be like kind of me ghostwriting for you guys a little bit, client notifications. Good morning to everyone who's growing and monetizing. So what I would do is and by the way, this isn't planned. I write better when I just don't plan it because it's just more free flow. But I just had a viral thread for a client. Not interested in numbers, in engagement. But this is his Calendly 24 hours after. And then you include Calendly screenshot. We'll report on results later. And then you leave this for 24 hours. And in 24 hours, you quote tweet it. And it's like, or like in, I don't know, fuck it, in a week, right? You quote tweet it. 3 new clients closed. 1 thread, $15,000. This is powerful because you said about not growth, but you're talking about growth. So I would recommend you don't post this, and instead you filter it from all the ghostwriters that are posting growth content. You filter it through your unique mechanism. That's essentially Lex and Cash. So you filter it, and then you create something that's completely like it has the same shade, but it's not the same shape. Make sense? You don't create you don't create content, you filter content. To you, it's obvious. Obviously, if I show engagement, people are gonna correlate to sales, right? But to people, it's like, wait, hold on. Is this guy blue or is it red? Like, I don't get it because people, and this is just some sage advice that my dad gave me when I was learning how to drive. I was like, yeah, but this guy's not gonna cross. I can just move, right? He's like, no. Listen, Jackie, when you drive, what you need to do is you need to assume that everybody is an idiot. So this is some sage Twitter advice. Just assume people are idiots and keep consistent. Like just stay disciplined. So this is your North Star right here. The reason most people fail at building an audience, and I got this from your stuff on Discord, that'll still be here in 10 years is because they don't follow my rock solid frameworks, right? For the sake of like simplicity, building a quality audience, just for the sake of simplicity. The reason most people fail at building a quality audience is because they don't follow my rock solid framework, right? This is a blue line. You told people, okay, guys, I'm going to talk about a blue line. Now let's read your content. Last year, I was writing blogs for websites for $4 an hour. This year, I quit my job to write full time, 10K by Christmas. Crazy how things grow when you focus. This was 21 hours ago, by the way, so you can't tell me you didn't, it's an old tweet, JK. No, it's not. It's not an old tweet. All right. So you create discrepancy, right? Because you told people, hey, I'm going to write about my ghostwriting and how to create solid followers. It's like, great. Now you talk about how you're building your business, right? Or you cut your job or whatever. And then here's another tweet. Dropping a thread on how I cut my writing time in half, going live in less than 24 hours. So it's like, okay, hold on. Is this guy gonna is this guy like a writing guru, like a War on Weakness or a David Perel or a Dickie Bush? So see how the less things you talk about, the stronger your marketing message is. But you just split your power in thirds by talking about other things. For you, instead, I would write something different. Okay, instead of talking about how you quit your job and how you cut your writing time in half, you're a ghostwriter. Ghostwriting clients or potential prospects, they don't care about cutting your writing time in half. They don't care that you quit your job. If anything, this kind of makes you look like an amateur. Just real talk. And again, if I'm being like too harsh and whatever, just tell me like, JK, you can go to the next one. I get it.
That's cool.
But yeah. Instead, I would say something like, oh, this is my client's follower. Oh my God, this is great. This is my client's follower count. But what's impressive to me is, and what's interesting to me, because you want to follow a rock solid follows framework, is that distribution by country. Oh my God, this goes so hard. 50% USA, right? And then it's like 25% UK, and then it's like 25%, I don't know, what other country, Canada, right? Whatever. And maybe you could go 15% Canada, and then, so I'm missing how much? 50 plus 25 plus 15, 10% Australia. Actually 9% Australia, and it could be 1% rest of the world. Followers ain't buyers. Oh my God, this goes so hard. See? Right? Or you could say something like following ain't leads. Something like that. Don't copy me, but you know what I mean. This, when you're posting this, you told people, hey, I'm going to talk about a blue line. And then you craft another blue line, and it makes it stronger. And they start associating you with, oh, dude, of course I want American, UK, Canadian, and Australian followers. Let me go with Dan. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I guess it kind of conflicts some of the other advice out there, which is like, okay, you should target, some of your content should be growth based, some of your content should be authority based, and some of it should be like personal branding and being a human, right? Whereas I guess like the positioning that kind of you're coming from is very much sales based, improving competence.
Yeah, because that's the big one, man. Like, let me ask you. So, if I'm a CEO or a founder, right, and I wanna hire a ghostwriter, do I want somebody who just quit his job in December? Not really. You know, I'd rather
Mhm.
have somebody who's like a professional because it makes you look like an amateur. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So like you kind of have to act in a bid. My advice is just act more professional because you are a professional. Make sense? You know more about Twitter than them. If I had a choice between a ghostwriter that only talks about distribution from my country and a ghostwriter that just quit a job, of course I'm going to go with the guy that proves his competence. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not against lifestyle. I'm not against showing personality, but I am against looking like an amateur. You got to show professionalism. Andre, before I get into the next one, do you want me to skip you or do you want me to do it?
Let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to start asking this before. Andre, Twitter ghostwriter, helping busy founders, CEOs scale their businesses through their personal brands. Life hack, block everybody who doesn't work out at least 3x a week. Is this a good tweet? Knowing his positioning, is this a good tweet?
No,
It's not. It's not. Why is it not a good tweet?
has nothing to do with what I do.
Pro writing tip, impactful words is better than word count. Make your content easily digestible by delivering value at a fifth grade grammar level. This is a better tweet, but you're talking to other ghostwriters. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have an audience with a lot of ghostwriting bros. Do you?
Yeah, in fact, I do. You're right.
There you go. Why? And it's not because it doesn't have to do anything with your skill. You don't have a skill problem. I mean, I've read some of your tweets. They're good. You have a discipline problem. You need to stick to the thing that'll attract founders and CEOs, right? So for you, it'd be like maybe, remember the positioning call that we talked about? Like you got to go with like, this is my unique path. Remember? Let's use Brian's example because Brian wasn't tweeting clients and I gave him his positioning. Third
All right.
brand engineer. I partner with CEOs and founders to build a valuable brand without sounding like everyone else. This one went hard. So you could say, typical ghostwriting. Post anything, get retweets on it, get an audience full of third world country followers. Good ghostwriting. Post competence. Build network around it. Get an audience full of people interested in you. Interested. Not entertained. And then it's like, because dude, every ghostwriter today in the world, well, on Twitter, is tweeting about helping busy founders and CEOs. What makes you different? So you got to find your positioning. And once you find your positioning, you filter content through that positioning, right? This is like the short form guys that message you, hey, are you looking for short form content? I'm like, I might, but I'm not going to buy from you because it makes no difference, right? It's the same thing that everybody's offering. Whereas if you filter through your positioning, then it's completely different. When I understood positioning, things really clicked. So Joshua, back is a D2C founder turned growth partner using systems I built for my own brands to help others grow theirs. Invented and scaled 4x products to 7 figures. Good shit. The tweet is this from March 26th. Flashback to when our client launched my GTHO strategy for the first time. We had to turn things off 6 days later because we ran out of stock. P.S. The stock was meant to last 3 months. Now, I lied because I don't have anything to roast here. I think this tweet is really good. The reason why I think this tweet is really good is because it aligns with the thing. Like to me, when I measure tweet quality, I don't measure tweet quality on engagement, likes, retweets, and comments. I measure tweet quality in alignments. And how much are you inside the blue arrow? And when I go to Joshua's profile, so this is like a good example you guys can take. So I lied. Joshua, I'm not going to roast you today. It's all aligned with like helping brands growing, right? He's about like, I created this much money with Facebook ads alone with this structure. You can drastically change the trajectory with this. Do this. This is what I did for a client. This is my strategy. Want to know if your agency knows their stuff or not? Like, this is a highly specific tweet. only people that care, that have an agency and maybe they've been burned out will find this interesting. I would not, because I'm not an e-commerce brand. So I would not like read Joshua's tweets, which is exactly what he wants, because I'm not your client. So, and what I call this is disqualifying with content. You want to disqualify people that like kind of make people not interested in your shit. So I'm starting to post about, here's how to use a case study. Here's how you use your Slack wins channel. Here's how you scale from 10 to 30K a month. Here's how you monetize an audience with 10,000 followers. And then people with less than 10,000 followers be like, JK, do you have any advice for me? I'm like, I don't. Because you're not my client. Because I cannot help you. So Joshua does a great job of staying inside the blue arrow, but he also does a great job of disqualifying people. This didn't get any likes, but I think this is a fantastic tweet, because people who haven't been burned by an agency, or people who don't own brands wouldn't be interested in this, which means that inherently your audience will be higher quality because you're using the right baits. The average follower count inside Tweets and Clients, it's 20,000 followers. And you might ask, do we have an engagement group? You fucking bet we have an engagement group. So there you go. I wouldn't be surprised, Josh, if you like get a ton of like good quality followers following you if you stick to this for at least 3 months. Like some high DTC brands. And by the way, this guy, Tim, he's selling to kind of the same vertical. 15K on a call up front, $15,000 on a call. Crazy. But no profile pic. It's just a ghost. Because, and I've seen this a lot with like very wealthy people, they don't have profile pictures and they are like super anon because they don't want, you know, hustler bros messaging them. And you guys have a lot of them, have a lot of wealthy people following you today. You do. And they're not coming out because you're not giving them the blue arrow. And if you did, and you've stayed disciplined, you would be amazed at how high quality people follow you. You just are not giving them the right bait. Kevin is the pay-per-close Dutchie. He adds 30K a month to your agency using outbound funnels, done for you and 100% performance-based. 75% of meetings come from follow-up. Keep blasting prospects with value. I would consider this a better tweet than the one below.
Sure.
Apple didn't have an ad that said 3 gigabytes of storage space. They said this. So if you're a content creator, then position yourself, we'll make 30 videos a month. Try 100K views from the audience will most likely to convert. Kevin, why is this tweet better than this tweet, even though it got better engagement?
Just congruency and what I'm trying to offer. The whole spiel I was going for was in terms of you know, a big part of what we do is also offer creation, and so that's why I sort of threw it in the mix there. But it's not congruent with what my value proposition is.
Correct. Because you said right here, so if you're a content creator, I'm like, wait, what does Kevin do again? Like, it doesn't have like this congruency, right? So you could say it's March just ended. Cold email sent. X. Replies. Y. Calls. Z. Closes. A. Revenue generated. B. Amount my clients paid me before I generated that revenue. 0. You know, this is so good. Like, I hope you see this.
It's good ROI, yeah.
Yeah, because you're a pay-per-close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, this guy's paid nothing. And I just made them all that cash. This is strong. This is great. Like, and it might not get emails, right? It might not get likes. Fuck it, likes and cash. Alignment is cash. Discipline and content is cash. So you know how Jocko Willing has discipline equals freedom? To me, it's like content discipline equals cash. You know, it's a horrible saying, and I'm not going to coin it ever, but I thought this was going to come out better, but I didn't. But you know what I mean? Discipline is more important than likes on this thing. Let's go with Matt. So for example, and this is kind of just me looking out for you, Matt. I had a client before that he was just talking about about books. 200,000 on Instagram followers, something like that. It was crazy, right? And we could never monetize this specific niche. So I was thinking maybe you could do something different, but fitness, but for intellectuals. Like, to me, it's like maybe you could show people how they could reach their dream body, right? But your path is different. This goes back to call number 1, when we covered how people want the same outcome, but they want to be taken through a different path. So for you, what I would do here, man, is maybe tell people like position yourself as the intellectual, like jacked dude, right? And you do this in a way, but I kind of want to give you a shade of it. So tell people that other fitness influencers or coaches, the path they show, it's just the alpha bro, the just get training bro, and all these like weird things. But like, you can achieve and you can talk to people with an intellect they also want to get jacked. So the people you would be attracting for your fitness offer would be wealthier. This is kind of when I saw a positioning from a training with just a coach that was training nerds. And he had like the Captain America program, and then the Batman program, and the Goku program, right? But that's what he did, and he attracted people interested in that, right? It's gonna be hard for you to monetize books because we've done it and done a lot. However, if you position yourself as a fitness coach with the intellectual route and you talk with books combined with the fitness, I feel like it could be such a better example and it's just so much better results for you. You talk about books, but you color it with fitness. So I kind of would like you to shift that. I'd like you to talk about fitness, but color it with books. Because you talk a lot about books, you'll also be attracting more CEOs, more business people. And I feel like you can monetize a fitness offer better than a book offer. So for you right now, let's get, and this is me inventing on the spot, but let me see what we can do.
I see where this is going. I like it.
I'm glad you do, because I'm inventing. And then people will go like, well, yeah, fuck this guy. Like, who is this guy? And they look at you and you have a 6-pack and it's like, oh, well, there you go. You know? So for me, it's, again, I want to say it again because I thought it was a good way of putting it. I think that you talk about books and you color it with fitness. Whereas I feel like you should talk about fitness and color it with books.
I was more leaning to the intersection of those two things, which is more like mind based. You know what I mean? It's like, which I think would be even more valuable for people, right? Because like a lot of people just don't care about fitness. But you know, everybody wants to be, you know, like wants to sort of have calm and clarity and, you know, peace of mind and happiness, right? And, you know, books and fitness both lead to those two things.
Yeah, and I understand.
Mm.
But you can't flex how many books you read on Instagram. You can't flex a 6-pack. It's just more tangible. It's just more like it goes stronger. And this again, like you could go that route, but I couldn't monetize it. It was so hard. It was just too complex. So we changed into ghostwriting. But I feel like fitness would be a much stronger angle for you, just because it's more tangible. You know, it's people want that, but the angle should be books. To me, it's like you're confusing your positioning with your offer. Your positioning is book, your offer is fitness. And I feel like right now you're making your offer books and your positioning fitness. And I think it should be the other way around. Maybe you guys found some value in kind of how I think about positioning and offers and how to phrase yourself. And last one is Mr. David White. The reason most don't get all they can, it's because they do not use the right sales funnel. I feel like you're not precise in who you're talking to. You haven't nailed that down. And to me, it's evident when I see your tweet. So I coach coaches, mentor, and consult too. And your tweet 5 hours ago, reply with the biggest thing keeping you from starting a SaaS. Like, I know you send like a shit ton of DMs today, and your response rate would go through the roof if you just talked about the one thing. Because right now, the way this looks to me, it's kind of like this. It's just very, very just not aligned. And you might feel like you're talking to a lot of people, but you're diluting your message. And if you just had one, your message could be so much stronger. So you got to pick, and you got to talk about one thing. I would recommend go through these examples. Look at how Josh stays disciplined. Look at how I stay disciplined and just talk about that one thing. And eventually it's going to start to click and you're going to get better responses.
Thank you for watching. If you want to grow your audience, I'm not your guy. But if you want to monetize your audience, you can subscribe to the YouTube and watch the other channels. See ya.